Hey guys, Nancy Ann here with Simply Beautiful Sourdough. I had totally not planned on making any sourdough videos today. I was just going to bake my bread I have in my refrigerator, alone and quiet, get her done and see what happens. But I realized there's a couple of techniques that I'm using and one new thing I'm trying that I thought could benefit my viewers and help you turn out a better loaf of sourdough with a great ear, great oven spring, and possibly a better crumb. All of them are borrowed from my two very favorite sourdough YouTubers, Food Geek and The Bread Code. So let's see how this turns out. My first tip comes from Food Geek, and it happens before I even get my dough out of the refrigerator. I preheat my oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is about 260 Celsius, and I preheat it with my Dutch oven inside. Can you see it there? This has been preheating for well over an hour. I get it good and hot. Then I score my bread. I put my bread inside the Dutch oven, put the lid on, slide it back in the oven, and then I turn that temperature completely off. I turn the oven off. I set the timer for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I get the Dutch oven out and I take the lid off. I put it back in and then I turn the temperature on the oven up to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is in Celsius. And then I bake it for another 20 to 25 minutes, maybe 30, depending on how long it takes to get it as brown as I want. This combination seems to really help with my oven spring. Okay, let's move on to actually scoring the bread and my new technique that I'm trying. This dough has been sitting in the refrigerator overnight. It is 500 grams of white flour, 325 grams or 65% hydration, 20% stiff starter, and 2.5% salt. So the stiff starter is the new thing I'm trying. Heard this on a Bread Code video, and he also suggested me on his Discord channel, which by the way is fantastic. If you're not part of it, you need to get over there and join it. That I try the stiff starter because I have been having problems achieving an open crumb. Apparently the stiff starter is not as likely to give me the sour taste that I like, but I'm willing to sacrifice that to see if I can get some open crumbs. So I will also try and attach that video down below. I'm gonna get my bread sling here. This makes it real easy to get it in and out of the Dutch oven. Affiliate link is down below. Put it on the top like I always do. I really don't technically need the turntable, but truthfully it just keeps my counter cleaner at this point. So here we go. I'm just gonna wipe off the rice flour, any left over from the Banneton. And now I'm going to do the easiest score ever. This is a really simple decorative score. I'm going to go down one side, do a little wheat stalk. Now keep in mind, on a batard, your tension, whoa, that could have been better, should be going over top. This way, widthwise, because you should be shaping, pulling towards you for the most part. That wheat stalk is too far apart. I'm going to do something I never do. I'm going to come in and go closer just to try and make it look better. This may not be the best looking wheat stalk I've ever done, but that's all you're going to do. Just little hatch marks close together. So I don't want to do a line down the center of my wheat stalk for the stalk because that's going to pull way open with the tension. I want to give all that tension to the ear to get the best ear possible. So now I'm just going to do the exact same thing over on the other side because I am going to divide this in the middle with my main score, not off to the side, which is tip I also got from the Bread Code, and I will try and also link that video down below where he talks about the one simple tip that he did for, I can't remember if it was for oven spring or whatever, but it's helped me a lot. Okay, so now with my lom. That's all of our scoring. I did not dust it with rice flour. I want this to have a more rustic look. I'm hoping for some blisters. Rice flour is a blister killer. They don't happen. And this isn't intricate enough scoring that I need to worry about it showing up anyway. My goodness, I could have got that a little closer in the middle. So you just want a whole bunch of little hatch marks going up. There we go. That's a little better. You really want those to get close together. There we go. And so now the trick is I'm going to take my lom and I'm going to hold it almost at a 90, this is 0, this would be 90 degrees, or parallel to the counter. And I'm going to really deep get it in there and cut all the way across, holding it as horizontally as possible. You want it to be nice and deep. And somebody commented when I posted on Discord about me getting a double ear, and I'm positive it's this tip that did it. Now normally it's better if you can do it in one swoop, but I just want to make sure it's deep enough. And now I'm just going to take my lom, I'm going to help it a little and push it up like this. Make sure it's pushed all the way. I'm going to check on this side, make sure I'm nice and deep there. I am, push it up. Okay. And now we are ready to go in the Dutch oven and bake. I wish I had heat-proof gloves. Taking that out of my hot oven, heated to 500. Lifting this up. There we go. I'm gonna grab my spritzer from here. I'm going to give it a spritz. I don't have rice flour on it, so I don't have to worry too much about messing it up. As a matter of fact, it helps it if I use that water on it. And back in the oven. There we go. Now I'm turning my oven off, setting my timer for 30 minutes. And we'll see you with the Dutch oven reveal. Well, I was a knucklehead and missed the Dutch oven reveal. I'm sorry about that. But here we are with the finished product. The Dutch oven reveal looked just like this, only paler. So here we are. This right here, where this tore, that was user error. I really probably needed to change the razor blade in my lom. I felt it dragging a little bit, and I think it was too dull. So we're going to change that out. There's the wheat stalk on the side. I miffed this a bit, but it does kind of have a rustic look. Probably should have made it shorter. Hindsight's 20/20. The whole point of this really wasn't the scoring. It was just to see if the stiff starter could help me get a more open crumb. So it's not looking too bad from that. I mean, it looks delicious. It's just not particularly attractive. Very glad I'm not selling this one. So there it is from the other side. Yeah, so there's our bread. And so we'll see this next when I cut it open to see the crumb. Right here is the stiff starter itself. I believe I mixed the starter, 1 part starter, 1 part water, and 2 parts flour. Check Henrik's video. He does a much better job of this. And it was all the way up to here. It had risen all the way up that high, and now it's eating through the nutrients and getting down. This has been fed several times to just get the proper properties to make stiff starter have the benefits of being stiff starter. Again, I'm not a science person, can you tell? I just want to see if this works. Apparently I'm supposed to have a less sour bread. This is actually smelling like my regular sourdough, and it does have a little bit of a sour smell, so I'm hopeful there will be some sour flavor. Okay, that's good. We'll see you when I cut it open and reveal the crumb. Here we go. Our wonky earloaf. Let's see if that stiff starter did me any good for getting an open crumb. I'm cutting this Walker Wren right over here. Love sourdough. All right. Here we go. Yes. Now this right here, this is a shaping issue. Probably was a bubble inside, but I actually think that's a lot better, really. Yeah, for me, this is a much more open crumb. I'm sniffing it to see. I can smell the sour in here. Here's the other one. And again, that's shaping. And it's not an even crumb. I think this is what they call a wild crumb. It's kind of uneven. I only did stretch and folds 3 times 30 minutes apart. So in case you're wondering how that came down, I ferment-a-least with everything together for about half an hour. Then I kneaded it just to make sure that the dough was homogenized. Then I took out a sample and I set it aside so I could see when it doubled. Then I let it wait 30 minutes and I stretched and folded and did that 2 more times for a total of 3 stretch and folds. Then I left it alone until that sample had doubled in size. And of course, the stiff starter, I think, is what made the big difference. So I'll try it again. Oh, that's not going to work, and see how it goes. But there we go. So this wasn't really about scoring, but it had some valuable things I learned from other YouTubers that I thought might help my viewers. So be sure and check out the links to their videos. I'm going to try and find them down in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye, and be blessed. What's in there? Oh my gosh, that's where those went.